Now, yesterday marked International Literacy Day. A report conducted by the Progress in International Reading Literacy earlier this year revealed that 81% of South Africa's grade 4 pupils, 81% of South Africa's grade 4 pupils could not read for meaning. And this is the conclusion reached by Stats SA with their report painting a grim picture of the country's reading culture. In their data, nearly half of the country's children have never read a book with a parent before. For more on this, we're joined by Nicole Gaspar of Spark Schools. Nicole, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to start with those statistics, Nicole. It is honestly a grim picture being painted. What's your take on this?
Absolutely. It really is a scary statistic to work with, especially being in education. 81% of our scholars in the intermediate phase cannot read for meaning. And, at Spark, we put a lot of focus on reading this year, especially. We've brought it back after COVID, redesigning our homework program to include everyday reading, even if it's just a short passage. And, we really need to foster a love for reading, and it starts in the home as well. So we've really been working with our parents and trying to get them to understand how important it is to read with our children every day, even if it's just a short passage. I do understand sometimes we don't have access to readers, but there are so many online programs that we can use to read with our children. And if we encourage it and we are the ones that, show a love of reading, our children will follow suit. So it is a scary statistic, but I do feel if we all put a lot of effort into making it a love of reading, we can make a turnaround.
Nicole, it is concerning that it is found that very few students or scholars actually read with their parents. In your experience, why is it that parents find it so difficult to sit and just simply read a book with their children?
No, I think we really we're struggling to work and deal with our children. I really find when we work with our parents that do struggle, it's just a lack of having access to either readers, or we have parents that are working 2-3 jobs at a time that are really struggling to get home and make that time to read with their children. And that, for me, is the struggle with our parents today. They really just trying to get by, and reading has taken a back seat. And I also just think educating our parents around the importance of doing so and what the benefits of reading with our children will do for them. Reading for meaning is really important. When you move into the intermediate phase, you can't be reading exams to your children. They need to understand the questions. So I think just reiterating that importance with our parents. We know it's hard, but even if it's just 10 minutes, to read with your child, whether it's a clip from a newspaper or something you see on the news, online. Everybody has a smartphone. It's just something that I think parents need to be educated on, to put a lot of focus on in their homes.
Now, Nicole, what would your advice be to a parent who might be new at this and want to start sitting down with the children and reading a book with them? I see you also say it's important to ask them questions.
Yes, that's right. So, I think the first step is for any parent to try and get access to books, whether it's through the school that their child is at. They can ask them to borrow books from their library, public libraries as well. You can also join our online public library, which I don't think anybody really knows about. But when you do that, it's allowing your child to engage with those books and choose the book that they want to read. It doesn't help us trying to force a text down our children's throats that they're not excited about. They need to be excited about reading. So allow them to choose it, make it fun, sit with them, read with them. Once you've read the story, have a discussion about it. What was the story about? Discuss the characters, the feelings the characters may have experienced. change it up and ask them what they would have done differently if they were in the story. You know, they really need to engage and remember the plot line of the story for them to actually read for meaning. There's other fun ways to do it. You know, as parents, you can have a reading journal with your child. You can set goals for the month, for the year. Whether it's pages that they read a day or books that they read in a month, track those and just really make it a fun experience. And I think we underestimate the fact that as parents, our children often mimic us. So if we have a love for reading, whether you read fiction or nonfiction, you know, we can you know, show our children that we love reading, whether it's a storybook or a newspaper. And I think that's where it starts, is in the home.
Very critical conversation this morning with Nicole Gaspar of the Spark Schools. Reading with meaning, critical, foundational to the development of your child. Thank you so much for your time, Nicole.